The leader of the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces has announced its dissolution. It's all part of a deal struck with the government. Mazloum Abdi said the SDF has merged with the Syrian army and would cease to operate as an independent force. The Kurdish-led group lost most of its territory in northeastern Syria in January to a government offensive and then signed a deal to integrate into the military. Abdi has pledged to guarantee the rights of Kurds in Syria's constitution.
We will carry with us the memory of our martyrs, and we will keep their sacrifice in our hearts, because they didn't fight for a war, but for the day when Syrians do not have to fight each other. We want this day to be the start of a real transition from the battlefield into the fields of construction, from the time of arm-bearing to the time of peace.
Al Jazeera's Heidi Pett has more now from Damascus.
This is a hugely significant moment for Syria. Ever since President Ahmed took power in December of 2024, he's had a couple of key objectives. One, of course, is stabilization and security, but the other one has been the reunification of Syrian territory, because over the years of war, multiple different armed actors took control and carved up parts of Syria. One of the strongest and most significant of them was the Kurdish-led SDF. At one point, they controlled a quarter of the country up in the northeast. They were significant players in the fight against ISIL, and as a result of that, they were backed heavily by the Americans with weapons, with funding, with intelligence, training and support. But things really shifted over the last 18 months. The Americans switched sides. They threw their weight behind Damascus. And then in January of this year, there was a military confrontation between the SDF and Damascus, which the SDF lost. They lost a lot of territory, and as a result of that, they signed an agreement saying that they would integrate into the Syrian state. Now, that process has been ongoing over the last 7 months or so. SDF fighters have been coming to training positions near Damascus, receiving training and support to be integrated into 3 brigades of the Syrian army. But the process was not yet complete, even though Mazloum Abdi, the now former commander of the SDF, announced that just a couple of days ago. There were still unresolved questions about heavy weapons and about the future of the women fighters, the YPJ. They had argued that they should be integrated into the Ministry of Defense, that they're professional soldiers, they fought against ISIS, they want to continue being soldiers. Damascus was only offering them to join the Ministry of Interior as police officers, and so these unresolved questions were part of the reason why the dissolution was not formally announced until now. The question is how exactly this will be implemented on the ground in northeastern Syria.
Well, let's take a closer look at the Syrian Democratic Forces. An alliance of Kurdish and Arab militias founded the SDF in 2015 with the support of the United States. It controlled key areas of eastern Syria during the civil war, and it was the West's main partner in the fight against ISIL. In January this year, the SDF lost major parts of its territory to Syrian government troops. The two sides then signed a truce and agreed to integrate the Kurdish fighters into Syrian state institutions. Well, the deal also included recognizing Kurdish cultural, civil and educational rights in Syria. Well, Saleh Mubarak is a Syrian-American professor and writer. He says the disbanding of the SDF helps lay the ground for a united Syria.
This is ending a chapter of conflict, and I applaud both sides, especially the government, for seeking the least confrontational path since the collapse of the Assad regime. As you know, there were a couple of agreements before that they signed, and then SDF somehow reneged on these. But this time I'm optimistic. It's behind us. It will have a ripple effect on other rebels in the south and probably in the west, that Syria will remain as one country, acknowledging and celebrating the diversity. We have diversity in every aspect, in religion, sect, language, race. So the Kurdish component cannot be ignored. It's very essential to Syria. Many of our scholars, leaders were Kurds, many of the politicians. So we're one people. So I'm very happy with this, and I hope that the details will be, settled soon and with the satisfaction of both sides.